schools have that stuff online now. Oh, is that right? Well, I'm glad that I get to watch the warm up a little bit here. Considering no names on the back, so yeah. Welcome to Berg Hockey Live for the first time at a college club game. I'm Matt Gajtka alongside Brian Mitchell. We're here at the Alpha Ice Complex in Harmarville, proud to bring you the city game on ice for the second and final time this season. It's 14th ranked Pitt taking on Duquesne. The first time these two teams met was back around the Thanksgiving holiday. Pitt prevailed 4-0 behind a 51-shot attack. But the Panthers and the Dukes now heading into the home stretch of the ACHA Division I season here in the CHMA, trying to get in position for the postseason. For Duquesne, last place in the CHMA, 1-7 record in division, trying to climb and get into that sixth spot, which would guarantee them a place in the postseason at the end of next month. As for Pitt, trying to climb past Robert Morris for first. Pitt with a 6-1 record in the CHMA and 18-2 overall. For Stu Rolnick's team, it's been a fantastic season, Mitch, and really showing everybody what Panthers hockey is all about, essentially all season long. Just the 2 losses and just the 1 in division so far.
I'll be dead honest with you. I'm excited to see some ACHA, CHMA action here tonight. We don't get these opportunities very often. I know we've been trying to reach out as we can, but, I mean, some of these, I see a lot of these names that I recognize from the PIHL, the local leagues. I saw Will Studd from Pine Richland from last season, of course, the state champion Pine Richland Rams. I'm seeing many names that I recognize here. Jake Teep from Central Catholic, of course, played his high school hockey here at Alpha Ice Complex. So that's a beautiful thing to see. Ben Leslie, the forward from Penn Trafford. A lot of those guys that you recognize. Alex Crilly, I believe we mentioned, where I believe was he Mars, or we said
Seneca Valley.
Seneca Valley he was at. So it's really big to see, a lot of these players and be able to come out and see. And of course, one of the ones I'm excited to see, Austin Tonkovich, former Cannon Mac standout, was on that 2015 team that was up at Pagola. We actually covered that in a rare coverage. So interesting to see, and I'm really excited to be able to check out the action of the ACHA tonight here at the Alpha Ice Complex.
And we're back on YouTube, by the way, so thanks for those of you who've migrated over. You can now just go to berghockey.com to access the link. We thought it would streamline the procedure and also open up these broadcasts to folks who don't have Facebook accounts. So far, so good in the first week of this new modified endeavor. Also, a thank you to Conrad Waite, the head coach for the Duquesne Dukes, for helping us get this whole setup off and running, and we hope to make this not just a one-off, but for right now we're looking forward to tonight's game. Most recently for Duquesne, we'll focus on the official home team for tonight, even though this is the home ice for both teams. Duquesne coming off of a road weekend where they played number 24 Westchester and also at Towson. So they took a trip out to the Mid-Atlantic region, losing 5-4 to Towson and 10-1 to Westchester. It's now a 1-1 season series against Westchester for Duquesne, so just shows you some of the variability in the results you can get at this level or any level of club hockey. So Duquesne's going for its first win of calendar year 2020, whereas Pitt swept a weekend at Towson last week, 8-0 and 8-1, and also they defeated Westchester a couple of weeks ago. So that's a feather in their cap that has helped the Panthers rise to this number 14 ranking per the ACHA voters. Pitt is powered by some familiar names, as you mentioned, Mitch. You called a couple of them out there, Austin Tonkovich, Jake Teep. Their leading scorer is Aldrich Virag. And
couldn't even miss him, the
former Franklin Regional, yes, and also Esmark Star. Not to be redundant, Virag has 46 points and 27 assists. He is the 7th leading scorer in all of Division I ACHA club hockey and tops in this division, the CHMA, College Hockey Mid-America. If you hear us reference those initials, that's what that means. On the Duquesne side, kind of fitting considering we're seeing Penguins and Flyers uptown. We have some talent from both sides of the state. The number 1 center for Duquesne, Sean Lloyd, he wears number 80. He's also one of the co-captains on this squad. Team best 22 goals and 34 total points in 23 games played. He also leads the team in power play goals with 4 and shorthanded goals with 1. And also from the other side of the state, P.J. Breslow, 15 assists to pace this Duquesne squad. And then you look in net, Alex Nevervee, the starter tonight. He's played in 14. This will be number 15 for the Dukes. He's from San Jose, California. So even though these are local teams, you think club hockey, maybe a lot of local guys. And you do have some like Cameron Sinceri, played for North Allegheny. You have, going down the list, Evan Kaprivnikar from Hampton and Frank Fratello from Ken and Mac, et cetera, et cetera. But Duquesne is also drawn from not just across the state, but across the country. So to give you a bit of a primer on what club hockey is, we'll continue to sprinkle in some bio information on some of these players as they have now taken the ice here at the Alpha Ice Complex, getting ready for the second and final regular season meeting, the second and final city game in the regular season in 2019-20. These two teams, I mentioned, they play a heavily regional-based schedule at this time of the year now as we get down toward the end. For instance, next week, Pitt is at RMU at the Island Sports Center and then at WVU, also part of the CHMA. Duquesne's at WVU, and then they host Mercyhurst a couple of Fridays from now. So it's just some of the schools, some of the names that you'll be accustomed to hearing if you are a club hockey fan, or if you're new to the sport, we'll try to educate as best we can as the two teams get lined up and get ready to go. You'll see Pitt wearing their, newer bright blue and bright gold uniforms as the whole university and its athletic programs, including the clubs, have switched over to the old-fashioned Pitt look, and I love it. Personally, you'll see those colors on your screen there tonight. And Duquesne is going to be in the prominently white jerseys with the old English D on the front and the red and the blue trim. Right now, we'll throw it down to our PA announcer. In fact, we'll crank up the crowd mic so you can get the starting lineups and get some of the atmosphere here at the Alpha.
At left defense, number 2, Ryan Losby. At right defense, number 12, Bernardo Viazra. At left wing, number 41, Austin Tonkovich. At center, number 11, Alex Trilly. And at right wing, number 43, Olda Viras. And starting your Duquesne Dukes, at left defense, number 3, Dan Bigley. At right defense, number 7, Cam Sinceri. At left wing, number 37, Brandon Kozak. At center, number 80, Sean Lloyd. At right wing, number 8, Mike Kraszewski. And in goal, number 1, Alex Neverby.
There's your starting fives plus your goaltenders. In fact, let's go to those goaltenders and introduce them for you. No national anthem, by the way, tonight, as we'll get things rolling right around 9:25 on the dot. In the Duke's cage, Alex Neverby, the native of the Bay Area, San Jose, California. This will be his 15th appearance. He has a record of 3-10 so far. After a couple of years of juniors, he is now in the college club ranks. His save percentage this year is .866, and his goals against is .621. Still looking for his first shutout of the year. And on the Pitt side, it's Tristan Kanter, who split some time with Matt Snyder recently. Kanter making his 9th appearance. He has a record of 7-1 and a sparkling .922 save percentage to go with a 2.13 goals against average. The Panthers, coached by Stu Rolnick, assisted by Jerry Bass and Ben Hannes. Conrad Waite in his 4th season behind the Duquesne bench. He's assisted by Richard Myers, Sean Maloney, Alex Taylor, and Robert Sigurdsson. We're facing off at center. Duquesne going to attack down to our left and Pitt to our right. And for the first time on Berg Hockey Live, we're playing some college pucks. We're underway with 20 minutes loaded on the center-hung scoreboard here at the Alpha. Chipping this one in is Michael Krzyzewski. Takes a bump there from Pitt's Zach Mulholland, and Pitt can try to rev it up from behind its net. Here are the Panthers now. Vieira, the former North Allegheny standout, coughed that one up on the far side wall. Pitt has to try again from in behind. It's goaltender Kanter. Turnover, chance, backhand, rebound in front of the net for Duquesne's Kozak, and it's put in. A drive from the outside, and Duquesne has the all-important first goal in this game. Lloyd cashes in on the rebound chance, and Duquesne jumps on a turnover, and eventually they make it pay off. Krzyzewski had the first chance, Mitch. It rattled around and hammered by Tristan Kanter. And what a huge goal for a Duquesne team still looking for its first win in a couple of months.
Great opportunity there, just so he's able to jump on the rebound that was just sitting out in front. It didn't seem like Pitt was really playing too much defense in front, and he's just able to backhand it in and give that lead to 1-0.
So kind of a sluggish start for Pitt, and Duquesne takes full advantage. Duquesne was shut out 4-0 by the Panthers back on Thanksgiving week. It was a huge day for Alex Nevervee. Played great, talking to Coach Conrad Waite before the game. 47 saves for him in that one. So Sean Lloyd gets the goal, the co-captain of the Panthers, or pardon me, the Dukes, I should say. His team best 23rd of the season. In fact, he leads all players in this game. As Pitt has spread its scoring out a little bit more, Duquesne more top-heavy in its offensive production. But still time to turn that around here. And another turnover by the Panthers. Having a hard time getting it going are the boys in blue. Pat Bobko handed that off, and now it'll be Sean Phillips trying up the center, and that's broken up too. So Duquesne all over Pitt in the neutral zone at the start of this one. Just a minute and a half, not even, gone in this one, and Duquesne is fully energized by that early goal from their co-captain, Lloyd. Gloving this one down is Hayden Feck. He'll bang it off the far side boards. Helping out with puck support is Doman. Pitt now getting on the forecheck. Breslow will rim it around. Out to the point. Wide drive from Zach Mulholland of Pitt. Stephen D'Elia will pick this one up, and he'll shoot in deep. Wanted to head off for a change, but he was belted down at center ice by Mark Loria. No penalty on the way. Trying to escape here, Jake Teep of Pitt. Just massaged it up the near side wall, and now a giveaway at center ice. Brendan Walsh steps up. Walsh, the defender, puts it in front of the net as he's wiped out in behind the goal. No one home on that centering pass. Orban fakes one way, goes the other, but his wrister was blocked. Scoleri got in the way of that one, and now it's Skomsky on the overlap for Pitt. Skomsky behind the goal, bumped off that puck by the other co-captain, Daniel Bigley, former Penn's Elite player and from the city of Pittsburgh. Up the far side wall, Jared Carl handles. Carl put it right through the stick of Skomsky, who's disgusted with himself, but he'll head off for a change. Now redirected ahead by Lloyd, but he was behind the red lines. That's an icing call against the Dukes. 17-17 to go in the first. 1-0 Duquesne over Pitt on a Sean Lloyd goal in the opening minute.
You know what? It looks like you flipped the script here. The number 14 team. It doesn't look like it's Pitt right now. It looks like Duquesne's coming out and just taking this straight to them. Not afraid of anything that Duquesne's throwing at. Pitt is throwing at them. Sorry, I'll get these teams down there, legend.
Hey, we're working on it, right? It's our first college game, so a Pitt player is injured at center ice. Meanwhile, here come the Dukes, and it's Lloyd driving wide. Defended well by Vieira. Tonkovic, yes, he's down. That's a key player for Pitt, too. Back in the neutral ice area, Cameron Sinceri clicks it across. Forsyth will ladle it further, and in behind the net, it's Lloyd. Got a touch to it, but then checked off the puck. Vieira looks up ice. Bangs it off the kick plate. Virag down low. Sharp angle chance from in tight by Stutt, and he's denied by Nevervee. No further play. 16:36 to go in the first.
Tonkovic is down in some pain on the bench. He's one of the only Pitt players sitting right now. Wait and see if he's able to return to this one.
Max Milan will face it off for Pitt, but Duquesne gets that puck first out by the blue line. Now they'll try to break it out here. It's Feck up the center of the ice. Ran into resistance, though, did the Dukes. Trying again, Breslow. Duquesne has several injuries on the blue line. Three listed forwards are playing D tonight. That's Feck, Breslow, and Sinceri. So a real challenge this evening, obviously. Chance in front of the net. It goes between the legs of Kanter on the deflection, and it's cleared out. Nearly 2-0. So Duquesne taking on the number 14 ranked team in the nation, the team that beat them 4-0 back in November. And they are fully motivated and ready to go tonight. Icing here, though, against the Dukes. We'll bring it back down to our right. 4 minutes and 4 seconds in. Duquesne has had 2 of the 3 prime scoring chances, and they've already put 1 in.
Pitt had a couple opportunities down low in the last couple shifts. Weren't able to put it away, but it looks like they're starting to gain a little bit of momentum off of Duquesne, the way Duquesne came out. It's going to be, any bit will be good for them.
Breslow trying to clear for Duquesne. Off the face-off win, Breslow goes back forward again. Turning his back to the middle of the ice, Loria now pries it free for Pitt. Teep, Pitt's number 42, slid it down low. Back there it's Orban. Now plucking it free, Keaton Hanna to the point. Snapshot coming, rattles around off bodies. That was Mulholland putting it into the mix. Now Mulholland down low. That was a pass, and Loria just tried to guide it on target, and now Loria swings it in front of the goal. No dice. Back into the corner. This will be Teep, wristing it deep. Prokowski for Duquesne, can't clear, Teep on it again. Inspired shift for number 42 again. Here he is, in behind, and his pass out in front was intercepted and flipped up ice by Prokowski. To the far side, Orban slows things down, waits for a man, he's got him. Wrist shot coming, stick save by Nevervee on Skomsky. Orban regathers, Skomsky goes to the net, but the pass went right by him. So now Pitt flexing its muscles. Evan Blum with the chip. Not much of a chase, though, as he'll hold up and allow his fellow forwards to set up the forecheck. A couple of players in the zone. Conrad Waite, the head coach for Duquesne, said he likes his team to be aggressive, even if they are compromised by injuries, as they are tonight. Snapshot by Skomsky. That's fended off by the glove hand of Nevervee. Carl, right in out front, and it's taken by Blum and tossed down the ice as it slid right through everybody in that slot. It was a crowded patch of real estate in front of the Duquesne goal. Carl looks up, backhands it along. Skomsky tips it deep behind the goal line. Sunseri on the retrieval for Duquesne. Virag, great pass to the middle, score! What a setup and what a finish. Austin Tonkovic, his team best 21st, and Pitt ties it up with 13:57 to go in period number 1.
Looks like that worked out pretty well for him, being able to get back out off the bench and just a beautiful pass to the slot. Now, I was going to note right before that goal that Duquesne's doing a really good job in the slot, just taking away all the passing lanes that Pitt has, and every opportunity that Pitt has had, they've just been able to break up within seconds of the chance.
Aldrich Virag knew exactly what he was doing when that puck came to him.
I've seen him do that a lot at Franklin Regional.
Maybe a little bit for Esmark, too. I know you
Yeah.
check out a few of those games occasionally. To the line, bouncing shot, tricky one to handle for Nevervee, but he did on the drive from Bobko. Kozak can't clear. Again, Virag, again a spinning pass toward the slot. This time it's intercepted by Duquesne Krzyzewski. Lead feed to Kozak, ripped it in wide off a stick. We're 1-1 now. Tonkovic answering the early goal from Lloyd. Crilly, wristing, and that's blocked from the sidewall, put off the outside of the goal. That was Pitt's stud who did it, the former Pine Richland Ram, as we highlighted in the pregame. Crilly, dish to the slot, off a leg, now right back to Crilly. Shot it wildly through the top of the blue paint. To the far wing, and Walsh jams it around the wood. In front, and an unchecked man, that was Stud, taking that dish from Milan, but he couldn't put it on target. Now Milan creeping up, but he can't one-time it. Stick got in the way on the Duquesne side. Lloyd stretches out. Lloyd trying to use the speed, shot it off the glove of Kanter. It hops high into the air, and the Panthers settle it down now. Toss from Stud, a little too far for Leslie to handle, but he takes it away now. Leslie swirling behind the goal. Scanning his options, wants to hit the man coming late, Loria, but it's off his skates. To the near side point, and it bounces out. Duquesne on the regroup. Feck looks up ice. That's Hayden Feck. Bouncing puck near the red line. Chipped along. Loria with a strong hit in front of the Duquesne bench. That took out Koprivnikar. Here are the Panthers once more on the counterattack. 8 minutes gone in the first period, 1-1. Slap shot from near the goal line by Keaton Hanna is gobbled up by Nevervee, pardon me, and we have another face-off coming up in the Duquesne zone.
It's like Pitt went out and recruited the 2019 PIHL All-Star team. Like, I just see these teams, Ben Leslie and, Uldrich Virog and all of them. And it's just amazing how many of the players stuck together from the local just to be able to come on his team and how well this team has been playing all season.
Corbel put it into the mix behind the net, and Jared Carl turns against the grain, takes a check there from Kostelic of Duquesne. Kostelic battling, winning the puck. Finding his man in the middle of the ice, it's the freshman Matthew Lasker. Lasker chases after his own dumping, but he can't beat Phillips to the puck. Phillips stick handles around one man, makes the dish up the near side, and the Panthers at least clear. 11:20 left in the first period. 1-1, as you see there on your screen, the score ticker on the bottom, courtesy of one Brian Mitchell, who you hear alongside me tonight. Sean Phillips waits, assesses, and moves in, but the puck drifted off his stick after he encountered a check there. Pelkington draws men to his side of the ice, now plays it to the near wing, and Scoleri. Wrister blocked down by Bobko. Panthers on the counter again. They are quick with it. Crilly shooting save. Rebound. Glove save. Nevervee, and he hangs on.
Great job by Nevervee just to stick with that play. He came inside. He was able to get on the backhand and just try to rise one over Nevervee, who was falling out of position. But to get that glove in the way, well done, sir.
Crilly, when you talk about former PIHL All-Stars, formerly of Seneca Valley, 41 points on the season. That'd be pretty good for a lot of teams, but on this team, he ranks third behind Virag and Tonkovic. He is fourth in the CHMA in scoring, and he leads this Pitt team with 8 power play goals, and now Virag nearly set one up after the immediate face-off win in the offensive zone. Didn't connect across the crease. He was trying to find that man, Alex Crilly. Bouncing puck to the red line, handled nicely by Lloyd, who backpedals and now turns it up ice. Lloyd checked there by Tonkovic, but now comes loose, and the Dukes try to get something set up. But Pelkington, that's Kozak, was dispossessed. Flip to the neutral zone, Virag lurking like a shark, but Forsyth didn't seem to be fazed by all that. He knocked it down, found the puck, and shot in. Full-scale change for the Dukes ahead of the play. Tapped along by Will Stutt. And softly flipped out by Breslow. Past the halfway point in period number 1, 1-1. Between the number 14 Pitt Panthers and the Duquesne Dukes. Duquesne with a record on the season of 5-19. That includes a forfeit they got credit for against Hobart. So really 4 wins on the year for the Dukes when they've taken the ice. Leslie working against 2 Dukes defenders, can't get by him. Now Leslie swings it right back toward the circle. Behind the back pass by Scoleri, that was Stutt, I should say, and that was broken up. Evan Blum chasing after it. Has a man in front of the net. It goes all the way through to the point. Wrister coming from D'Elia, and that didn't get through. 2 Panthers in the way between the shooter and the goaltender. Hanna picking his way into the offensive zone. Let it on back. Teep cutting against the grain. Flipped it off the outside of the net. Outstanding individual effort there. Now he tried to find Hanna on the backside. Didn't work. To the point now. Bobko ripping it along. Behind the net. Kaprivnikar, the centerman for Duquesne, breaking up that attempted pass to the low slot. This is Jake Teep wheeling a pass off a skate, and it caroms all the way back into Pitt real estate. Shots are 9-2 Panthers right now. Pitt starting to control the action in the offensive zone more often than not. So those early nerves or maybe just some sluggishness seem to have worn off now for Pitt, as you would expect for one of the top teams in the nation in D1 club hockey. Sunseri tries to get things going. He charges all along, but puck popped off his blade. Doman couldn't make anything happen for Duquesne. Michael Orban to the far side as he cranked it back over to Phillips. Phillips shot in wide. Here's the drive from Skomsky that sticked out. To the slot, and Carl. Carl to the forehand. Bumped off the puck and checked by Doman a couple of times. Pitt wanted a penalty. They're not going to get it. No penalties yet in this game. Now, more than 12 minutes in. Kostelic. More tie-ups in front of the Duquesne bench. That's Jared Carl down on the ice. And Matthew Lasker just went for a ride there on the far side. Cracked down by a Panther. Didn't catch the number there. Meanwhile, here comes Skomsky. Skomsky in a two-man rush. Wanted to leave it there for Virag. He did eventually, and Virag shot it through a screen and off the pad of Nevervee and cleared out by the Dukes. 7:10 to go in the first period. A lot of free-flowing action here. Quick-moving first period. Long headman pass. Aerial was knocked along by Breslow, but Pitt's on it first. Tonkovic couldn't take it. To the point and a wrister by Lobig. That didn't get through either. Tonkovic tries again. And here's Krzyzewski. Hair flowing behind him. Krzyzewski pulls up. 3 Panthers confront him. Now it's a 1-on-2 battle. Looks to get some puck support here from Kozak, and we have our first penalty on the way now. Kozak appears to be protesting the most, so I think it's going to be against him. Duquesne's about to go short. Interference the call from referee Roberts. So Pitt to the power play with 6:40 left in the first period. Pitt's power play 27% on the year. That's second in college hockey Mid-America. Point shot redirected and a good tip in the middle of the ice from Leslie, but couldn't get that Walsh drive online. Bernardo Vieira down the boards to the corner. Vieira gets it off the skate of the referee Roberts. Behind the net, picked off by Krzyzewski and backhanded out to the point, but no further. Bigley unable to clear. Again a shot from Walsh, and Nevervee had to see that one through a screen and kick it out. Here comes Lloyd now. Lloyd, the goal scorer in this game for Duquesne. Has a man going to the goal, and he put it there. That was Bigley, but it was deflected out of play by the backtracking Walsh. Maybe the one fly in the ointment for Pitt on the special teams side of things this season is the 5 shorthanded goals that the Panthers have conceded. And Duquesne on the year has 4 shorties, killing penalties at a 71% clip. That's 8th out of 8 teams in the division. But they have struck against the team with the manpower edge a handful of times. And they had a pretty decent look there. 1:11 to go on the penalty to Duquesne's Brandon Kozak. Virag, a lot of speed, but he lost control. He wanted to deke to his backhand down the right wing. Didn't work. That's a big man with plenty of momentum moving forward. Scary sight for defenders. Virag, native of Export, PA. We mentioned formerly of Franklin Regional High School. Hands this off to Sean Phillips. Phillips to Tonkovic. Yanked as he came in over the line. No penalty. Thought it could have been a hook. Crilly gave it up. Breslow back for Duquesne. Breslow with Prokoski in tow. Breslow decides to hang on to it. Solo mission here, and Virag, last line of defense, just calmly took it off his stick. 23 seconds left on the first power play of the game for Pitt. Virag slapper, easily kicked out by Nevervee. Alex Nevervee, 47 saves against Pitt back in November. Cranked in front of the net, handed off for a shot from Loria that deflected over the crossbar. Lobig will play it deep. Jared Carl back there now. Carl lost control, and it's Bigley for Duquesne. Bigley skates it out of trouble and one-hands it forward. And Bigley keeps it in the offensive zone. It rested on top of the dasher for a moment, and there's D'Elia on the overlap. D'Elia, though, backtracks. Power play over. Pitt got a couple of shots on it, but no conversion. Early special teams win for the Dukes. Wrister from Carl, glove down by Nevervee, but he couldn't control the rebound. D'Elia looking for an option. He has one in Bigley, and Bigley will simply forehand this one about 20 feet forward to allow for a partial change for his Dukes. Shots are 12-3 on target in favor of Pitt, but still 1-1. Bigley goes against the flow of play up to Sinceri, and he has plenty of speed. Sinceri's shooting, and he nearly squeaked it under the blocker hand of Kanter, but a fine save, a recovery from Kanter to deflect it over to the corner. Sinceri was cruising there, looking like a converted forward perhaps. Good move here and a wrister blocked rebound chance. Lloyd, score! That's 2 for the captain, and Duquesne against the run of play has a 2-1 lead late in the first. 3:33 to go before intermission. So Lloyd got the chance on the rebound for the second time in this opening frame. Cody Reiser, the sophomore, had the opportunity in the slot that was blocked, but a good bounce for the Dukes, and they take advantage of it.
Just a great job on the rebound selection there and just be able to fire that one home. Had him down out of the way, and yeah, just a really good shot selection there. Sorry, I can't help you out much. It's Friday night, buddy. Running this camera also kind of takes a toll on you.
Yes, I should mention, in addition to the color commentary, Mitch is running the show in terms of the technical side. He's got the stream up and going on the YouTube page, berghockey.com. I'm Matt Gajtka. I'll be the guy yakking for most of the night.
Yep.
But that's what I'm here to do.
I'll jump in every once in a while when he's quiet. That's what I do best.
So Blum and Reiser get the assists for Duquesne. And the Dukes not only have 1 early, but they have 2 in the first period, and they rebound from giving up the tying goal, which was off the stick of Tonkovic. To the point. Oh,
just missed.
Tip over the net from Max Milan. Stuff try at the side. Nevervee has it. Sticks come up, gloves come up, but it appears that there'll be nothing from this in terms of penalties or further confrontation.
Yeah,
Will Stutt was involved for Pitt.
Shocker. Nor should there have been any more penalties. No, I can joke around about players from Pine Richland from last season for a good reason. But no, definitely there shouldn't have been anything extra thrown on that play. They were just jockeying a little bit for position, and a stuff play, you're going to get those tensions up a little bit around the crease. So good no calls down there.
Jake Teep slammed that face off to the wall, but Duquesne comes out of the pack with the puck. But they give it away. Sean Phillips shot, loose in front of the net. Nevervee pins it down. So Nevervee's seen plenty of action. He's now stopped 14 of 15. Just about on pace of the save amount he piled up last time against Pitt.
I'm impressed about his awareness.
Teep in front, and again, Nevervee once and twice, but it's still free in the blue paint. Teep hacking away. Can he get it by? And it's gloved out by Sinceri. He was careful to not put his hand on top of that puck in the blue paint. It would have been a penalty shot. Now a chance again. Nevervee's down. He made another save on the quick rebound opportunity. Reiser back. Reiser cuts in. His shot was weakened by Teep and stopped by Kanter. He decides to hang on with some Dukes buzzing around his cage. 2:17 to go in the first.
I was kind of concerned there. Kanter almost misplayed that. That puck came in with a little bit of a bounce on it, and I think he double-checked it as soon as it came down and was able to get on top of it before he jumped over his stick.
Clean face-off win, but Prokosky couldn't get the shot off. Confronted immediately by Orban, and then Orban took a high shot to the face from Prokosky. And offside are the Dukes. Prokosky could not tag up in time. Very colorful uniform matchup tonight, Mitch. I love to see. Well, I just love how Pitt's gone back to the brighter blue and the brighter gold.
Oh yeah, I want one of those jerseys.
And Duquesne always looking sharp with the Old English D.
Mm-hmm. One of the only teams that didn't in the school that didn't go to the new logo. If
That's
I remember
right.
correctly, they decided to stay with the old school like D logo, and that's pretty cool. I like that they stuck with that. It gives them their own little bit of a flavor in the school.
Wrister high from Skomsky, and it looks great as a hockey jersey crest.
Mm-hmm.
A lot better than the newfangled D that the varsity programs have adopted.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing against that, but I prefer this. Lobig turns away from the pressure of Prokosky to the far wing, and Carl relays it ahead. Trying to hook up with Orban. Didn't work out. Skomsky ran right through Hayden Feck of Duquesne, I believe that was, on the far wing side. No harm from that, though. Here are the Panthers again. Crilly working the outside. Check there from Breslow. Crilly, the pass to the slot right by Tonkovic. to the point. Friendly fire, redirection, chance, score! Virag on the rebound. One of the Dukes touched the initial shot that came in from Walsh, and Nevervee just couldn't recover from that. A tough assignment, and Virag lurking at the near side post to pop it in with 1:11 to go in the first. We're tied again, 2-2 on Virag's 20th of the season.
Yeah, at this point, I'm noticing about Nevervee, his awareness is really good. His reflexes are good. You've got to get him moving side to side to be able to have a shot on him. And, you notice the 2 goals so far have been in that variety.
Approaching the final minute, Virag wants more. His pass to the middle, down to block that was Bigley. Tonkovic, high slot. Tonkovic checked off the puck by Krzyzewski. Penalty on the way against Pitt now. Lloyd couldn't deke past the defender, Walsh, and touched up by the Panthers. They're going to the box. It's Tonkovic, and there's no glass over there in front of the penalty box here at the Alpha, so Tonkovic just lifts the leg and jumps right into the box. Tonkovic 2 for a slash at 19:04 of period number 1. Pitt went scoreless on its first power play. Now Duquesne gets a chance. The Dukes power play at 15% for the season. They've scored 13 times, but they've allowed 10 shorthanded goals. So that's a real bugaboo for Conrad Waite's team in the early, not so early anymore, past the midway point. Just about a month and a week to go in the regular season. Little shake and bake from Breslow to create some space for Duquesne. 35 seconds to go in the period. Left the puck behind, though. It's broken up by Stutt. Stutt now will take this and simply send into the cross corner softly. He'll go off for a change. 22 seconds and ticking remaining before intermission. Breslow up the far side. Gunned it around the wood. Back there to stop it is Kanter, but he handed it over, and inadvertently Krzyzewski's wrap try is stopped by Kanter. At the point, under 10 seconds now. Cross rink. Krzyzewski couldn't make a play. Down the ice, 2 seconds. Maybe one last chance here for Hanna. Drives one over the crossbar as the buzzer sounds, ending period number 1. Plenty of action in the opening frame. 20 shots on goal for Pitt, but Duquesne's tied with the number 14 team in Division I, 2-2 through 20 minutes of play. Fast-paced, especially after the opening couple of minutes. Both teams getting a taste for the action, and both teams will head to the locker room for the ice cut. Coming up at the break, we're hoping to get head coach Conrad Waite of Duquesne to talk about the first period and the season for his team so far, too. So keep it here on YouTube, and we'll bring it on back if we are able to secure Mr. Waite for a little sit-down. 2-2 at the break on Berg Hockey Live. Okay, so we have Conrad Waite right away, 2-2, coach, after one period here on Berg Hockey Live. You get the early one, you get another lead too. How'd you feel about how your team came out to play tonight?
I didn't like the way we responded after we scored. It was like giving up the goals, and then the D zone they were getting to the net and kind of outbodying us there. But I thought throughout the ice, it was like we took advantage of some of our opportunities. We went hard to their net. We just need to do that in the defensive zone as well.
What challenges does Pitt present when you get into the attack zone? How do they defend, and how are you going to try to break them down as we go along here?
They're very aggressive, as you saw at the start of the penalty kill there. So they're always on top of you. There's not a lot of time. And they're pretty deep offensively, so all 4 of their lines are pretty consistent. So it's about taking advantage of some of our matchups in that way and trying to wear them down instead of letting them wear us down.
I know you have some injuries on the blue line here tonight. How would you say some of the guys thrown into duty back there have done so far?
We have a few guys that maybe aren't as comfortable back there as I would like them to be. A little bit inexperienced, and I think you saw that, like I said, with them kind of owning the front of our net. But overall, I thought that given that lack of experience, it was like they really did a good job of battling and adjusting throughout the period.
Your goaltender, Nevervee, he made 47 saves against Pitt the first time.
Yep.
He looks sharp again tonight.
Yep.
What has stood out to you about his game this year as he's given you a chance to win a lot of nights?
He's been a rock for us in some of these games when we're getting outshot. His consistency has been very helpful when the rest of the team has not necessarily been consistent. You see it in that period. I mean, it's like he makes the first save, he stays in front of the puck. It was like if we can clear out the rebounds, we know he'll make the first save.
And lastly, you've coached here for a few years. How fun is the city game every time you get to play it?
Oh, it's always a good time. We get a lot of fans out. A lot of guys from both Pitt and Duquesne are local guys, so we get a lot of support that way. We've had the basketball team, women's basketball team. Everyone kind of support us whenever we're winning these games. Hopefully, we can bring this one home for the school this year, since the men's basketball team at least isn't going to get to play it.
Well, going for the split here this evening. Conrad, thank you for the time.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, we appreciate that. Best of luck in the second and third periods, and who knows, maybe beyond here tonight
Awesome.
on Berg Hockey Live.
Appreciate it.
Back for the second period after this break. Inside the Alpha Ice Complex in Harmarville, I'm Matt Gajtka with Brian Mitchell. Thanks again to Duquesne head coach Conrad Waite for joining us at the break to talk about the game and also his squad as they try to round into form. And Conrad said he's ballparking it. They need to win 3 out of their last 5 to get into the postseason. He feels like that's a reasonable goal for his team. They're trying to jump over a couple of squads there in the CHMA standings, currently in last place, 8th out of 8, but it just takes to get into 6th to make the playoffs. And Pitt trying to win the regular season and do what IUP did last year. IUP won the CHMA regular season last spring, and then it was RMU in the postseason taking the championship in that form. Pitt, number 14 in the country, trailed twice in that first period, but both times rallied from behind. Sean Lloyd, co-captain from Philadelphia of the Duquesne squad, scored twice, his 23rd and 24th goals of the season respectively. But both times Pitt answered back quite quickly. And you heard Coach Waite talk about at the break about how he wants his team to respond better to goals and not fall back as hard as they did after Pitt tied it for the first time. So Duquesne will start this period with a power play, about half of a power play, as Austin Tonkovich is in the box for the next minute and 5 seconds for slashing. Duquesne's Lloyd will face it off here, and here we go for the second period. At Alpha, which is the home rink for both sides. Soft backhand pass to the near wing, and Robbie Reiser, who had an assist in the first period, will fling it into the far side corner. Pried out of there by Kozak, but cleared down the rink by Pitt's Milan. Max Milan, that is. Goaltender Nevervee banked it off the headboards, and then it hit the side of his net. Nearly put it on a platter for Pitt to score a shorty. And remember, I told you Duquesne's already given up 10 shorthanded goals on the year in 24 previous games. This puck jumped into the Pitt bench. That's why the stoppage here. Well, Nevervee, I had to laugh, or at least chuckle, because he gave his head a visible shake after he almost made a puck handling gaffe. You know, when you're a goalie, no one notices the 100 times you do it right, but the one time you do it wrong, it usually leads to a prime chance against. So I suppose that's just the nature of the position. Chipped into the offensive zone by Bigley. Duquesne on the forward check. 19 seconds to go on its first power play of the game. Koprivnikar behind the net. Now he has it at the sidewall, but he knocked it off the stick of Sean Phillips, the Pitt forward, the penalty killer, and that'll do it for this power play for all intents and purposes. Bigley will skate it out of his own zone with 1 second left to go, but Tonkovich is out of the box. Bigley cruising down left wing. His backhand, he had Koprivnikar in the middle, but couldn't get it through. Crilly will play it up ahead, and here's Virag with a breakaway. Bidding for a second of the game, slows it down. Virag's in, and poked off his stick by Nevervee.
Great poke check.
Maybe he slowed it down a little too much, but Nevervee made the play, and now he slings it away from the side of his net once more with Crilly creeping in. So Virag tried to get Nevervee to bite, make the first move, didn't happen. Here comes Tonkovich, though, now. He's got Virag going to the net, dropped it off. Wrister by Crilly, stop made by Nevervee, no further play. The drive hit him right in the Old English D on his chest. Crilly ticked off, he couldn't finish it. You can hear him yelling at himself from up here. We're right behind the benches at the Alpha Ice Complex.
That's what I was just thinking the other day. This location, the one thing that I don't agree with on this, we should be on the opposite side where we can see the benches.
It
but
is
otherwise,
odd.
It's a great setup for everything else. Like I love it for that purpose. Other than, hey, benches opposite side, that'd be pretty cool.
Leslie's shot was blocked after the face-off, controlled by Pitt. Here are the Panthers again. Well, number one, we have a table here. We can just spread out our stuff.
That's the best part about
all
this rink
important,
is
of
having
course.
a booth. Actually, if any rink that we actually are in, I think it's actually probably the top rink whenever it comes to us broadcasting to be at. So
I know, I love it. And what's important for us is the most important thing, of course. D'Elia with the wrist shot there just before the stoppage in play. I'm kidding.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, we're all inherently selfish, I suppose.
Yeah.
Back to the red line, and Breslow will rip it near side, too far for Doman to latch on to. So Pitt gets a breakout, but they give it right back to the Dukes. Pitt coming off a couple of blowout wins against Towson down in Maryland last weekend, 8-1 and 8-0. They're in a dogfight tonight, pardon the cliche. Dogfight with the Dukes. Flipped in by Milan of Pitt. No one home as they're going off for a change. Breslow, P.J. Breslow, the cut in, the dish, and D'Elia wasn't quite reading that. I'm not even sure Breslow meant to put it as far as he did into the corner, but pretty good job from him to back off the Pitt D, and now he shoots in. Duquesne gets some fresh bodies out. 17:07 to go in the second period. 2-2, Pitt and Duquesne, the city game on ice on BergHockey.com. Teep of the Panthers shooting, blocked at the point of attack. Forsyth got in the way. Teep gets up in the high slot and wrists it, and that's blocked down. Senseri will take it over there for Duquesne. He's pinned to the boards by Keaton Hanna. Good checking there, and Teep finishes the job. Puck out to the neutral ice. Forsyth tries this wing, but Lasker was bumped off the puck by Lobig of Pitt. And the Panthers get things revved up again. Teep shot, patted away by Nevervee. Teep wanted to drag it in front of the net. Didn't work out for him, but the Panthers keep the puck. Senseri drags it through to center as he spun around. This is Lloyd, already on hat trick watch tonight, but his headman dish was well ahead of the pack, and that'll be an icing. Duquesne, its last win was back in November, or October actually. It was against Toledo, 10-5 over the Rockets. They also beat Westchester, Slippery Rock, and WVU. So the early part of the schedule was pretty kind to the Dukes, but the middle and now getting toward the end, they've struggled to get results. Just the one victory in league. That against West Virginia. Redirected ahead by Brandon Kozak. Kozak from the Buffalo area. One of the top scorers on this Duquesne team with 12 points in 13 games. Now Pitt on the attack, Michael Orban. Orban, formerly of Hampton in the Pittsburgh area. Skomsky put down on his backside by Lloyd of Duquesne. Trouble in behind the net, though, for the Dukes. To the point. Bobko shot it, and he got a lot on it, but just missed the right post. Phillips looked to pull it around Kaprivnikar, couldn't do it. Got wiped out. Now Lloyd took a check. Puck kept going north, but Tonkovic got enough of him to break up that attempted rush. This will be an icing back the other way against Pitt. Shots are 22-7. Pitt on top, 14:59 to go in the second period. The score you can see right there on your device screen, 2-2. Pitt has allowed the second fewest goals in all of ACHA Division I. 46. We'll make it 48 now. So what Duquesne's done, getting 2 in a game. That's actually right at the game average against. Tonkovic to the front, score! Virag, the tap in. What a pass from Tonkovic. Pitt has its first lead, 5 minutes and 16 seconds into the middle stanza. You just can't move that big bull Virag in front of the net. He sets those edges, and, well, good luck bumping him off the spot. And Tonkovic knew that. Great pass to the doorstep, and the Dukes couldn't cover it up. 5 goals in this game, all at even strength. And the nationally ranked Panthers have their noses in front. And Virag, a great move there, but couldn't get it all the way home. Still in front of the net. He got a backhand shot between his own legs, but never stopped it. To the point, Stutt, wrister didn't get through. Chance on the far wing, Crilly missed everything. To the point again, tipped just wide of the net by Virag, looking for the hat trick. In the middle, overskated by Stutt. Dukes clear to center. Kozak for Duquesne looks on as this is flipped right over his head and in on his goaltender, Nevervee, who will pin it down and hold on for the whistle. 14:11 left in the second period. This is ACHA college hockey for the first time ever on Berg Hockey Live. Find it at berghockey.com, where we have the permanent link to this broadcast. If you're watching live now, we thank you. If you're watching after the fact, we thank you equally. Either way, proud to cover this game and give you a different side of the sport. Of course, we've had countless PIHL high school hockey games via the Berg Hockey Live platform this year, but we're diversifying, going back to college. And no, we did not fail the midterms yet.
Speak for yourself.
Well, at least I didn't. To the far wing, and Reiser. So now Duquesne has to work from behind for the first time tonight. How will the Dukes handle it? To the corner, Blum. Blum gave it away. Vieira on the coverage for Pitt. Lobig has to hightail it over to the near side. Reiser for Duquesne, couldn't take it with him. Lost control. Sent down the ice by Stutt, and icing is the call as Scolari wins the race for the puck for Duquesne. Fresh bottle of water going out to the Duke's net in Nevervee.
Yeah. For the record, I didn't fail the midterm. I just slept through it.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
Yeah.
The Dukes have played several goaltenders this year. Nevervee has the most appearances with 14. Also dressed tonight, Trevor Galante. He's played one game this season. This puck's out of play. 13:08 to go in the second. Aldrich Virag has his second goal of the game, the only goal of this period to have Pitt in front. And the Panthers are 9-0 at home. This is their home rink, even though they are the road team officially tonight. So you might as well say they're going for 10-0 at home, although it won't count that way in the CHMA standings. Stick got up. Duquesne's about to be penalized. That's the last thing the Dukes need as they try to stay within striking distance. Not even halfway through this game, but with the way Pitt's offense has been potent and its power play especially, the Dukes have to be cautious. High sticking is the call. And Matthew Doman will have a seat. The penalty at 6:59 of the second period. Tonkovic with a goal and an assist so far tonight. He had 3 points the first time against Duquesne back in November. And Tonkovic has 3 power play goals. Look out for him on the finishing end here during this advantage. The second of the night for the Panthers. Again, their power play clicking along at 27% on the season. Phillips. Virag along the goal line. Out high. Tonkovic, full slapper, broke his stick, but it comes right to Virag. Backhand. Nevervee closed it down to keep it 3-2. And here are the Dukes coming back. Lloyd shorthanded, pulls up. Has a man in the slot, but he decides to shoot it. And stop was made by Kanter. The man breaking was Kozak, but he was covered, and I think a good idea from Lloyd to just take his chances with the shot. Teat pulls up. Still that broken stick from Tonkovic is in 2 pieces in the offensive zone for Pitt. Wrister by Phillips off the shoulder of Nevervee. And cleared by Duquesne, Stephen D'Elia. Kanter stopped it. He didn't know where. It went through his legs, but luckily for him, into the corner. Virag sets it up. Up ahead to Teep. Now cross rink for Leslie. Ben Leslie throws on the brakes. 45 seconds to go on this second power play for Pitt, leading it 3-2, nearly midway through the second period. Long wrister from Walsh. He's been accurate in this game. He's gotten some shots through. Some have been deflected, but he's been doing his job at the point. Leslie foists it along over to Teep. Teep gets it back here from Walsh. Teep closes, shoots, and Nevervee made the stop. Rebound off the outside of the net from Vieira. Behind the net, wrap try on the backhand. Nevervee has it, and he gets a whistle on Leslie's opportunity. Trying to ambush from behind the net. 15 seconds left on the minor penalty for high sticking to Matthew Doman, and the Dukes a face-off win and a clear away from getting through this one. But Pitt with a couple of great chances.
I'll give you this, Nevervee is playing out of his mind. That is a wonderful, wonderful game by the freshman to be able to, keep Duquesne in this one, only down by 1. He's been in position every chance that he needed to. When he's down, he's able to get back up quickly. The reflexes are there, and it's everything you need to see in the awareness. And as young as this Duquesne team is, it's a good sign going forward that they're going to have that in net and be able to go forward and bring in those those forwards next year and see what they're going to do on the next class.
Well, you spoke of the youth. This puck's out of play. 11 underclassmen dressed tonight for the Dukes, counting the backup goaltender Tristan Devine. So 10 that are playing in this game.
Yeah.
That's half your team, basically.
You're setting it up, but also you look on Pitt's side, too. It's the same situation, so you're set up for a couple years now.
Yeah, it has to be really encouraging for Stu Relnick, the head coach of the Panthers.
Another big save.
Deflected chance in front. Skomsky got the look against Nevervee, and again the save. Now 30 shots for Pitt. Pulling it free and shooting Phillips, but that was blocked. Maybe got his own man. Odd man chance perhaps back for Duquesne, but no, Pitt backtracks beautifully to make it a 3-on-3. Power play's over. Pitt's 0 for 2, but not for lack of chances, especially on that last opportunity, or the most recent one, I should say. Skomsky looks up ice in the Pitt blue and gold. He'll rim it around. Nevervee with the handoff over there to Breslow. To Blum. Forsyth gains the line. Forsyth left it behind, ran into trouble. Alex Crilly on the take back. 10:20 left in the second. Crilly gets around a check, gets around a second man, swings it back through as he fell down. Breslow got enough of him, though, on that second chance to check him down for Duquesne to thwart the play. Vieira protects the puck. Great dish to Virag. Virag goes inside and out, but sticked away by Daniel Bigley. Bigley tosses this past Vieira on the chase. Vieira, though, gets it right back. Bigley didn't get enough on it. Play bogs down. Kaprivnikar joins the party. Now Virag for Pitt. Aldrich Virag. Behind the net. Crilly, far side. Shot from Tonkovic. That was stopped by Nevervee. His 28th save, if that shot goes on the board, as number 31. Knuckling drive from Evan Blum. That missed the net for Duquesne. Lobig chased and pursued by Evan Kaprivnikar, but he reversed it over to this near side, and Pitt does force it out to center. Virag pulled it past the Duke. Virag to the backhand, and there's a stick check from Breslow that was just in the nick of time.
Virag just bulldozed his way through the neutral zone and getting it on that opportunity.
Like I said before, intimidating when he gets some speed going, especially because the hands are quick and the frame is huge. Scooped along by Stutt. Pitt with a counter chance. Leslie waiting, dishing back door, and Milan might have had his stick lifted at the last second by Pelkington. Shot from Stutt. That was blocked off a shin guard. You could hear it resound throughout the rink. To the point, and Walsh didn't get that one online. Breslow dishes it out to center. 8:23 to go in the second period. Pitt by 1, offside Panthers, breaking back down to our left. The shots are 30-7 now.
This is getting much more intense as we continue to go on in this game. As you start to see the clock wind down here in the second, the two teams are starting to take chance after chance and trying to get a better opportunity after they felt each other out after the first first period or so. So it's going to be interesting to see how these two teams continue to ramp up the intensity and see how this is going to play out.
Phillips, high shot, snapped up. Glove hand by Alex Nevervee.
Great glove.
Well, one benefit of being right next to the bench is you can hear the chatter and you can hear the energy pick up. That last sequence before the previous face-off, it's about as loud as we've heard it. Both teams chatting back and forth. Backup goalie for Pitt, Matt Snader, in fact, has leaned over and talking to a couple of the Duquesne players around the partition. Phillips gets it again, redirected in front of the net by Teep, and Nevervee had to be sharp, and he was, to hold that one out. It appeared to be destined for his 5-hole, but didn't happen. And a little tie-up, a little physical confrontation, not much of one. After the play stopped, Keaton Hanna got tied up with Matthew Doman of Duquesne, Hanna of Pitt. 8:06 left in the second.
You got to think with the proximity of these two teams and practicing at the same rink, it's probably a lot of carryover between the two teams. They know each other very well, more than most of the other teams in the CHMA. Yeah.
That's the way you like it, right? It leads to some good back and forth. Another tip shot. Pitt is great at getting these shots through and getting deflections in front. That time it was Teep getting a piece of the shot from Pat Bobko out by the line. And Duquesne just having some trouble here in the defensive zone. Forsyth, he can't get it out. Teep takes it in the corner for Pitt. Fake back one way. Now he wrapped it in front. And it hit something in the blue paint and hopped wide. I don't think Nevervee had to make a save on it. Teep takes it over, working against Doman. Teep cuts back. Sincere tried to run him off the pass. Didn't work. Teep got it back and scored! A beautiful goal on the pass from Hanna. And we have some extracurriculars after the puck went in. 4-2 Pitt on the Teep goal in front. That's just brilliant team play. And players are separated. The Panthers will celebrate officially. Jake Teep, his 9th of the year. But Keaton Hanna, just his 2nd assist in 17 games, but you'd think he'd had 20. The way he made that quick pass from in behind. Gorgeous stuff. And Pitt, despite trailing twice in this game, has 3 unanswered. And the Panthers have command.
Waiting for the feed to catch up here to see how that developed. Looks like I'm not going to be able to get it in time before the face-off.
We do have some sort of replay capability, but
it's the delay on the feed that we get to see everything that happens
right
afterwards.
Sometimes it's a little too long, as is the case tonight, I suppose.
We're continuing to grow and get our capabilities up and see what we can do in the future. Maybe eventually we'll have a replay system.
Carl yanks it free. Jared Carl gave it away, though, in the middle.
Depends on how much R&D I want to do over the summer.
It's a fine start, I would say, to Berg Hockey Live. Mm-hmm. Back into the pit zone, Bernardo Vieira. Vieira, one great move to get around Pelkington and decided to shoot it in as he got near the blue line. Pitt gets a bit of a change behind the play, or ahead of the play, more accurately. Virag keeps this one bouncing along for Pitt. Tonkovic spinning, and the puck drifts out to center. Brendan Walsh, some room to skate for the Pitt defenseman. His shot off the stick, though, of Greg Scoleri. To the point, Mulholland. Put it into the corner. The backhand pass from Tonkovic at the outside of the net. Top line out there for Pitt again. 4-2 Panthers. Duquesne led 1-0 and 2-1. Crilly shot it once, shot it twice, couldn't get either one through. Both blocked by Scoleri, who has 3 blocks on this shift alone. Virag against the grain. Scoleri trying to go one more to the far wing for Tonkovic, but that's picked off by Pelkington and cleared for Duquesne. 5:40 to go in the second period. It appears the Dukes are just hanging on right now. Virag couldn't take this pass, but he'll take it on the second opportunity. Off the sideboard, Karam in the corner. Virag gets it back. Virag wants to pull it to the backhand, but he's bumped off the puck by Lloyd, and Pitt has to go chase it. Stutt couldn't make it through the Duquesne picket fence, but now it'll be Milan shooting, and a big slapper into the belly pad of Nevervee. He stops the music with 5:09 remaining before the second intermission. This is Matt Gajtka with Brian Mitchell from the Alpha Ice Complex. Some late night Berg Hockey Live. Hey, it's a Friday.
Absolutely.
Why not? We'll take it past the 11 o'clock hour. We don't get to say that too much. Even in some of those late high school hockey games.
It's Berg hockey after dark.
Oh, yes. After midnight. Well, I don't think, not tonight, but maybe a playoff game in the future or something. Blind pass into the slot from Milan, taken up by the Dukes and Hayden Feck, but he couldn't make that forehand move. Feck now joined by Kozak at center. This is Krzyzewski, yes, spelled the same way and pronounced the same way as the Duke basketball head coach. Back come the Panthers. Stud shot it. That's off the pad. Phillips will track it down. Phillips to the side of the net, now in behind. Max Milan somehow stashed it to the front, but Duquesne dispatches that away. Krzyzewski in a tangle over there with Pat Bobko, who paraded down the wall. And where's the puck? It's
in the feet.
In someone's feet. It's on the ice, I thought. Maybe it's not. Maybe it was in someone's glove. Krzyzewski appeared to just hand that to the linesman on the far side of the ice. 4:20 left in the second. Wanted to note, I got a DM on Twitter at the intermission. Mark Loria for Pitt, who wears number 15, is the brother of Mike Loria. If you're a local hockey fan, you might recall Mike played a couple of seasons for the Robert Morris men's Division I varsity team. And we have an injured player now behind the net. Duquesne's John Prokosky has fallen and has not gotten up. He's over on his back, and it appears he'll be able to stand up on his own power. One of the medical staffers on hand here will be escorted out by the linesman, Colin, but he doesn't appear to be needed.
Yeah.
Prokosky bent over. Might have just been a stick to a sensitive area. I say just, not lightly. Just saying that it might not be a deep tissue type of injury.
Yeah, Mike Lurie, you were speaking of,
Yes.
Robert Morris transferred from UMass Lowell in his, I believe, his sophomore season. Played his last 3 years with Robert Morris, and yeah, a nice little addition, good winger for the Colonials for a couple seasons. Graduated last season.
Bernardo Vieira to the far side. Shot from the angle by Teep. That didn't get through to Nevervee. They're just announcing the goal to Teep. 40 shots for Pitt. They had 51 in the first game between these two. You don't have to be a mathematician to figure out they're ahead of that pace now. On pace for 60 plus, in fact. This is Doman. It's still 4-2, though. Still within range. If the Dukes get one before the break, it'll make the Panthers think about it going to the third. Keaton Hanna didn't like what he saw, so he flipped in and got off. Fresh legs out for Pitt. Aerial pass deflected by Jared Carl and right to a Duke. This is D'Elia. D'Elia's shot from a sharp angle near the corner, and that's gloved down by Kanter, who probably just wants to get the feel for the puck again.
Yeah, that was a good shot for him to see at this point, just to be able to make sure that glove's still out functioning. You sit for a while, it actually, it starts to mess with your head. Next time a shot comes in, are you ready? Are you prepared? You have to be ready at all times. But when you don't see him for a while, you do get cold out there. It does affect you mentally and physically.
Face-off won by Duquesne. Walking the line here is Bigley, the co-captain for the Dukes, the junior. Missed the target on that wrist shot. And here come the Panthers, taken away by Tonkovic. He's got Virag. Virag back to Tonkovic, looking, tries to make a pass in front, and just couldn't quite complete it. Could the Panthers there? Kozak, good hustle for Duquesne to get in the way. Lloyd wristing. That sticked away to the end wall, put it in front of the net, and Kozak couldn't get the shot off. That was interrupted, and back come the Panthers. It's Virag. Virag closing the pass, and it's under the stick of Alex Crilly. Twice, Pitt on the verge of getting a fifth, but can't do it. But here's Crilly to Virag. Duquesne all stretched out. Virag pulled down at the side of the net. That'll be an easy penalty call. And the Panthers go back to the advantage with 2:19 left before the break.
Calling a hooking on the play. Good call by the official. Pitt getting a little bit fancy with their play, taking the extra pass instead of just shooting when you have the opportunity. It's worked well for you so far, especially already up by 2. You just want to get that additional goal, hopefully get that insurance goal on Duquesne here. And, we're talking second period with 2:19 left, but 5-2 is a little bit better than 4-2 going into the third. And, that extra, maybe if you don't take that extra pass, you can beat them through with that goal.
So the penalty for hooking as the shot goes wide by Vieira goes to Kozak, his second penalty of this game. Third power play for Pitt.
Uh-oh.
Here come the Dukes now, short-handed, bank pass up to D'Elia. D'Elia score! Well, there it is. It's 4-3. Duquesne gets a shorty, the 6th scored against the Panthers this year, the 5th by the Dukes. A snapshot, short side, top shelf. Vieira gets his third of the season and one of his biggest of the season, his second shorty of the year, too. He was just camped out by that offensive blue line, Mitch, and he took that pass. It was a sneak attack, and it worked.
Nobody tracked him. He was just available there along the boards right by that complex sign in the neutral zone, and they found him right away. He came in, just fired that shot beautifully. And like I said, you take those opportunities, and maybe that fifth goal is a little more important right now for Pitt than it was 5-10 minutes ago.
Absolutely is. Well, Pitt still has the advantage here, and still a potent power play. Shot saved by Nevervee. He has to reach out with the goal stick, goes fishing a bit, but he does poke it away. And now a 2-on-1 back for Duquesne. The Dukes try to tie it up. Sinceri cruising wide. Sinceri shot, and it's stopped and held on to by Kanter. That close to 4-all, and that close to a pair of shorthanded goals on the same power play.
Duquesne getting much more comfortable in the neutral zone, making sure getting those opportunities. They're getting testy with the Pitt defense on the power play. Maybe it's something that Conrad Waite saw on the last couple plays, and maybe he's just putting a little more pressure on the blue line, but it's working out so far for the Dukes.
Defensive zone draw for Pitt. That's the last thing you want during a power play. 1:13 to go. Maybe Pitt could have used that little breather they just got, though. Walsh. Well, you know, Coach Stu Rolnick is maybe going to have a chat with his charges at the break about responsibility on the power play. Someone staying in position back there. This time it's Teep, but he's stripped. D'Elia, the handoff, and the one-timer by Doman missed. So Pitt's had very little of the puck on this power play, and Duquesne probably arguably has the three best chances on this power play, despite playing a man short. But Jake Teep will try to settle things in here for Pitt on the sidewall, on his backhand side. Dished over to Vieira. Vieira wristing. Save Nevervee. 39 seconds to go in the period. 20 seconds left on the power play. Teep has a goal in this period. To Vieira. Back to Teep. Sidewall. Teep wanted to sling it off the stick of Milan and did, but it missed. To the point, Vieira wanted to change the angle, but he's checked down legally by D'Elia. Steven D'Elia having a heck of a penalty kill. A goal and 2 or 3 nice plays to try to kill some time. Man out of the box is Kozak. The Dukes are back to full strength, but Teep breaks into open space. His backhand pass, glove down. Crilly couldn't turn it on goal. 5 seconds to go in the period. Coming down the wall, Sean Phillips of Pitt, but he couldn't keep it in the offensive zone. Puck out of play, but not before the buzzer sounds ending period number 2. Steven D'Elia for Duquesne is bent over as he heads to the bench. He gave everything he had on that shift. The city game is up for grabs after 40 minutes of play. Pitt gets 2 to grow its lead to 4-2, but Duquesne strikes with a short-handed goal on just its 10th shot of the game. Pitt outshot Duquesne 22-5 in that period, but it's still a ball game going into the final frame of regulation time. We'll take a break on Berg Hockey Live and bring it on back for the third, and who knows, maybe more. Keep it right here on YouTube and berghockey.com. Moments away from the third period. We're here perched above the ice surface at the Alpha Ice Complex. I'm Matt Gajtka with Brian Mitchell. This is Berg Hockey Live, breaking new ground. Berg Hockey Live goes to college. Number 14 Pitt leading Duquesne 4-3 in the second and final matchup between these two Pittsburgh rivals, both playing on their home ice. Duquesne scoring the most recent goal in this one to make it interesting going into the third, because if you look at that shot counter, you can see it on your device screen right now at the top of your screen. The shots are 45-11 in favor of Pitt. And Pitt had 51 in the first meeting. Barring something strange, they're going to get well past that here tonight. But Alex Nevervee has made all the saves he's needed to for Duquesne. The freshman from California has come up big again. And, well, he's made some saves that went above and beyond as well. And his team has been quite opportunistic. They got the jump on a sluggish Pitt team at the start. Sean Lloyd scored in the opening minute, and he added another one later in that first period. Pitt pushed back. They scored 4 out of the next 5 goals after Duquesne led early, but Duquesne's Stephen D'Elia scores a shorthanded goal in the final stages of that second period to really set up what should be a fun finish here.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned the shots on goal, 45-11. It doesn't seem like that when you look at the scoreboard. When you actually see the play, Pitt has been a dominant team in this game, but it's been Duquesne that's been getting the opportunities and being able to jump on them and, you know, excel in that area when it comes to it, because it's a game of bounces. We talk about it all the time and with hockey, and it's been Duquesne's bounces, but Pitt has been in control of this one.
We started even strength in this third period. If you know the two schools, you know that Pitt's in the blue and gold and Duquesne's in the red, white, and blue. A chance right at the start for Duquesne's Kozak, and he put it off the blocker of goaltender Tristan Kanter. Here comes Pitt back. Batonkovich stretched out, couldn't reach the puck. Tristan Kanter in the Pitt net. He's only been tested 12 times. He's made 9 saves. This shot goes over his head. He's alternated back and forth recently with the senior Matt Snader. Pitt has essentially gone to a tandem system. The last 2 weekends, they've split it right down the middle. 2 weekends ago, it was a split against number 24 Westchester University out in the Philadelphia area. This is offside against Pitt. Last week, a complete runaway, 2 complete runaways over Towson down in Maryland for Pitt. Meanwhile, Duquesne has lost 13 in a row, not counting the forfeit win they got against Hobart a couple of months back. So Duquesne, which at one point in the season was 4-6, now 5-19, just 1-7 in league. Pitt, meanwhile, has lost just twice all year. And they've given up the second fewest goals in all of Division I, not just the league, but all of Division I club hockey. But they've allowed 3 tonight. That's a lot against this Panthers team this season, which has been excellent under Coach Stu Rolnick. But Conrad waits. Duquesne Dukes have a chance here to pull off the upset, but they give it away behind the net. Stutt going to work in front of the net. Nevervee was down, but his teammates take care of the rest. Can't get it out, though, can the Dukes. Leslie off for a wrist shot from Stutt. He tried to go top shelf near side, but he missed. Stutt has a deflect to Leslie, and he tried to go short side. Nevervee made that save. 46 shots for Pitt now. Glove down by D'Elia. He had the shorthanded goal in the second period. Couldn't get past Phillips, though. Sean Phillips playing a lot of minutes for Pitt on the blue line and looking strong doing it. Leslie gunned it around the kick plate to the far wing now. Jake Teep scored in the second period. Pitt loses control. Braden Forsyth. Duquesne again having a hard time getting it up the wall. Pitt has closed down some of these breakouts well so far in this game. It's 4-3 Pitt. 2 in the first, 2 in the second for Pitt. 2 in the first, 1 in the second for Duquesne. Keaton Hanna with a shoot-around for the Panthers. Wearing those distinctive gold pants. It's a rarity in this sport.
Yeah, we were mentioning how sharp those look.
Brendan Walsh shot. Nevervee didn't know where it was. It maybe hit a Panther in front. Reaching for his mouth is Keaton Hanna as he rises to his skates. Puck still in the offensive zone, though. Walsh to the middle, and a shot was blocked to the corner off the stick of Mark Loria. Loria, the former North Allegheny student. Just heard from Chris Loria, his dad, online. He appreciates having the broadcast be available. Orban shoots here, and the righty was denied by Nevervee. Loria then went on to Florida to play junior hockey. So some of these players have come straight from high school hockey and PAHL or other amateur teams. Some went on to play juniors for a bit. In the case of Alex Nevervee for Duquesne, he played 2 seasons of junior hockey before manning the goal for the Dukes. Lloyd shot, and Kanter had to be sharp to make that save. Big blast from Scoleri was blocked at the point of attack by Carl. Pitt's back in possession with the puck behind its net. Vieira takes a look up ice with his head up. Vieira keeps going all the way to the blue line. Lifted it in. He sprints back to the bench for a change. Scoleri took a high hit there, actually just avoided the brunt of the hit. I think that was Virag who tried to lay the lumber. Bigley for Duquesne, dispossessed in the corner, over by the Zamboni entrance. 15:40 left in regulation time. Pitt by 1. The number 14 team in the nation trying to avoid the upset. Pitt will be at West Virginia, or pardon me, at RMU, I should say, tomorrow night. Duquesne's at West Virginia tomorrow night. As CHMA play continues, one of the final month of the regular season. Just 3 weeks to go in the regular year. Austin Tonkovich to Oldrich Virag. A couple of goals in this one. Virag shrugs off Breslow of Duquesne. Still with it in the corner is Virag. To the point. Lifted down the wall by Bobko. Now to the far side, and a wrist shot from the point by Walsh. Snapped up by Nevervee. 48 shots on net for the Pitt Panthers. Pitt has outscored opponents this year 120 to 49. Tells you what kind of a dominant season it's been. They haven't played a ton of close ones. The most recent loss was 3 weeks ago tonight at Westchester, coming out of the Christmas break, right after the new year. Westchester, the number 24 ranked team in the country. Duquesne beat Westchester early this season and then lost to them last weekend 10-1. So Westchester's coming on, and a quality opponent. This will be icing against Duquesne. Zach Mulholland back for Pitt to trigger the whistle. Now in 10 of 14 Nevervee starts, the freshman goaltender for Duquesne has faced 40-plus shots. And this one he's going to get to 50, it appears. Bigley burrows in behind his net, looked one way, now passes out the other, but the Dukes again struggle to get it out of the zone. High shots by Leslie. There's shot number 49. And again, Nevervee strong holding that post. The shot count last time out was 51-21 in favor of Pitt between these two teams. That happened just before the Thanksgiving holiday. Again, Duquesne looking for its first win since October. Shot from distance, save, rebound, Teep. And I don't know if that hit something in front. Looked like he had an opportunity to stash it in, but he could not. Possibly a save. Don't want to take credit away if it was there. Vieira out by the blue line. Vieira to Jake Teep. Two former PIHL players exchange, but lose control now. Krzyzewski with Lloyd alongside. Krzyzewski wanted to make a backhand pass to the middle to Kozak, but thought better of it. Didn't think he could get it through. Reaching ahead is Hayden Feck. Feck tried to chip it past a couple of Panthers. Didn't work out. Duquesne just one shot away from tying this up. Breslow, cross rink. Feck, back to Breslow. Lines one up, shot it, save. Rebound, save again. On the chance from Kozak, behind the net. Pitt's Ryan Lobig takes over. Lobig to the middle. And Loria tapped it past Breslow. Loria, an opportunity, and Shot to that blocker hand side, but again, Nevervee equal to the task. Breslow with some speed. He drives wide for Duquesne, getting in, passing in front, or tried to, it never got to the slot. Lloyd bursts in to ambush the Panthers, but the puck slides to the neutral zone. Cameron Sinceri tees it up, harassed there by Skomsky of Pitt. Now Sinceri finds some room here with a strong skating stride. Cam Sinceri to the corner. Dishes cross rink. Reiser. The battle's on for the puck. 12:42 left in regulation. No goals yet in this period. Zach Corbel lifts his head up, bounces a pass that gets all the way through to Michael Orban somehow, but not for long. Evan Blum will clear it off the sideboards. Forsyth in a dangerous area, made a pass right up the center of the ice, and then he was knocked into his own goaltender. Did get it through to Sinceri, give him credit there. It was a good dish, just in a dangerous spot. Play stops, 12:22 left in the third. Well, Pitt's gotten past the 50-shot barrier, matching their total from the last time these two teams met. Well, Duquesne's trying to stay aggressive, and talking to Coach Conrad Waite yesterday before the team's practice here at the Alpha, he said, yeah, they have injuries on D, but they're not getting away from their basic fundamentals of their game. They want to pressure opponents. They don't want to play as if they have some men out on the blue line, and they do. Like I said, 3 forwards playing D tonight: Breslow, Feck, and Sinceri. Mulholland shot it. Back in behind the net off the tip. Tonkovic wristing, and that's blocked. Duquesne's Bigley got his shin guard in the way. Krzyzewski will shovel out into the neutral ice. On the back track, it's Walsh. Walsh to Tonkovic. Little flip over to Virag. Couldn't handle it off his skate. Matthew Doman put it through, and again back to the Panthers line. They'll try again. Sam Kosteluk wearing the C on his chest, the lefty D-man. Allows Crilly to skate through on a decoy, and now here's Crilly kicking it to his stick. Panthers into the offensive zone, but pass given away. D'Elia cutting inside here with Perkoski, but it doesn't pan out for the Dukes. The toss up ahead, Leslie puts it off the glass. To the point, Lobig shooting. Nevervee sticks it to the end boards. Good little pass there to Vieira. Hit the outside of the net. Leslie found him quickly and accurately off the carom. Bernardo Vieira. Cross rink, Lobig shot, hit a skate in the slot. Blasted it intentionally wide this time from Max Milan. 10:30 remaining in the third period. I'm Matt Gajtka with Brian Mitchell from the Alpha Ice Complex. Pitt trying to build on its lead. They've led since midway through the second period. Leslie wanted to turn it in front. That didn't go. Breslow for Duquesne can't catch up. Long shift in the offensive zone for the Panthers, trying to wear down the Dukes. But this cross-ring pass goes awry, and Breslow can at least skate to the red line. Holds up, gets near the blue, and a 65-footer on Kanter, who sticks it to the corner. Milan to his own line. Milan gets it right back. Max Milan would have been icing, but it went right to Sinceri instead. He was deep in his own end. Sinceri got it through a couple of Panthers in the neutral zone. Phillips, breakout pass. Jake Teep churns those legs, gets some speed going. Teep faked the slapper. Teep going wide against Forsyth. Teep in front of the net, it caroms in. Tough bounce for Duquesne, a great break for Pitt, and it's 5-3. The Panthers have a 2-goal lead once more. And Mark Laurie is the first to go through the celebration line. Might be his goal. Couldn't quite tell with the naked eye who touched it last. But either way, it all counts. It all started with Teep's attempt to get it in front of the net, and actually looking at that replay, it was a good job from Lauria to get his stick free, and on the 53rd shot for the Panthers, they have their 5th goal. It's Lauria from Teep. Lauria's 11th goal of the season. Offside Duquesne. The goal arriving just past the midway point of the third. And officially it does go to Lauria. Time of the goal is 10:24. And Pitt will now try to bleed the rest of the time out of this game. Not to say they're going to go into a shell or anything here. Neverfee has to make a stop on this redirected headman pass that jumped about 20 feet in the air, nearly struck the scoreboard.
Yeah, it bounced off a stick and just took a really weird bounce, and he had to react to it quickly because he thought that was going to come in a little bit lower.
So that's a couple of times that Pitt has gotten a goal from the doorstep. It was Virag early, and in this third period, Lauria, strong sticks in front of the net to cash those chances in. Flip puck out over the glass, nearly into the Pitt bench, but it ends up down in the seating bowl to our left. Mitch, you were saying you're looking at Tuesday for the next Berg Hockey Live?
Yeah, we've got a doubleheader coming up from Ice Castle Arena. We're going to slip down into Class B for a pair of games. Of course, we've got our opening game. I believe it is Morgantown and Bishop Canavan at 7, and then Connellsville at Carrick is our second game. I could have the road teams mixed up. I don't have it in front of me. But it is a 7 and 9 doubleheader coming up from the PIHL on Tuesday night.
P.J. Breslow chases back for this one. Breslow, the Philadelphian. Up the far side, Krzyzewski. Right on the Pitt net. Kanter doesn't want to fool around with that.
You get high school hockey back on next week, of course, and then big matchup on Tuesday from the UPMC Lemieux Sports Complex. It's going to be North Catholic in Indiana. We're going to try to get that game live for you guys. Busy week for us.
One timer from the point by Feck. Didn't make it through. Now Tonkovic on the counterattack for Pitt. Off the blocker of Nevervee with that shot. Crilly looking to pull this one free. Crilly with the 15 goals and 41 total points. To the front of the net. Virag couldn't lasso it. Tonkovic will control. Tonkovic acted like he wanted to make a pass to the far point. Now goes near. Crilly centers. Off a stick and high into the screen. Eight minutes even to go in the third period. Pitt has the only goal of this frame, and it's calmed things down. There was a lot of energy coming from both benches in that second period as play went back and forth. First period too, really, but after that goal from Lauria, I think Pitt can sense it, and Pitt would prefer no drama the rest of the way, of course, and Duquesne would love to stir something up. Get a fourth goal, especially. Chance blocked by Sinceri. Rebound, they put it in. The Panthers have a sixth. From the side of the net, looks like Ben Leslie hammered it home with 7:42 left in the third period. Pitt's got its biggest lead of the night, 6-3.
Pride of Penn Trafford just able to find that rebound in the slot. I mean, there's not much left. You've hit the now he's hit the 50 save plateau for the day. Has never, and he just couldn't get to that one. It was just a nice little play by Leslie to put it into an empty net.
Well, the initial chance, I believe, from Max Milan was blocked by Sinceri, but sometimes blocks are good, sometimes they lead to chaos, and that's what happened. That latter case to Duquesne on the Leslie goal. And it is Leslie from Milan, according to the official score, the announcement over the PA. Non-traditional assist for Max Milan, but get pucks toward the net. That's why they say to do that. That's why that's a cliche, because a lot of times it's true. When you shoot pucks, it makes the D turn and look for it. I've heard Mike Sullivan say that a few times. Speaking of that, the Penguins won 4-3 on a Sidney Crosby overtime goal. Plenty of hockey action in Pittsburgh. College and pro tonight. Double-barreled action. The blast from Sean Phillips didn't get through. Duquesne needs a lot in a hurry. Here's a headman pass, try to get one. Evan Blum, and he was stripped from behind legally by Sean Phillips, lifted the stick. Here are the Panthers back the other way. Keaton Hanna, blocker save by Nevervee. Carl hangs on to it. Jared Carl, strong puck possession move. 6:19 and ticking to go in the third period. Coughed up by Pitt. Cody Reiser slows things down, has a trailer, but Forsyth couldn't handle. Now Forsyth is wiped out on the check by Walsh, and the Pitt bench eats it up. And might have an interference call. I think Walsh hit Forsyth away from the puck. Yes, our first penalty of this third period will put Duquesne on the power play, trailing 6-3 with exactly 6 minutes to go in the third. Walsh for interference. This will be the second Duke's power play. And Duquesne, predictably here, absolutely needing a goal, needing a conversion to give themselves a chance. Well, they'll talk it over as Conrad Waite, the head coach, has called timeout. Waite in his fourth season as Duquesne coach, two-time CHMA Coach of the Year. Mitch, this has been a struggle for him, but he's shown his ability. And at the club level, you have some uncertainty. There are no scholarships, obviously, so sometimes you have to go through a lot of players in a season. Sometimes players can play one semester, they can't play the other. I was just talking to him about that last night. Things don't work out, so adaptability is the name of the game for a club hockey coach at the college level.
Empty net down to our, nope.
Yeah, I thought they were doing that for a moment. They are, yes.
They are, he just doesn't.
Alex Nevervee wanted to confirm it. 6 skaters on the ice for Duquesne, and why not? In fact, the numbers showed every level that coaches are too conservative in pulling their goalies. Down 3, I mean, you could argue you should pull a goalie with 10 minutes left. I've seen that even argued. Well, especially on the power play when you have a better than average chance of hanging on to the puck for a while. Breslow goes up ahead. Deflected right in the path of Lloyd. Lloyd, I thought he might try to stuff that short side, instead wanted to go around the goal. He was checked eventually. Breslow, near side here. Hayden Feck stick handling. Feck, Breslow overlaps. Breslow back to Feck. Out high, fake the shot. Breslow shooting, blocker save. Kanter to the corner it goes. Again, 6 skaters on, it's a 6-on-4 for Duquesne. Breslow plays it to open space far side, firmly. Behind the net. Michael Krzyzewski. Sean Lloyd. He has 2 of Duquesne's 3 goals tonight. Lloyd standing upright. Breslow dropped it back. Duquesne having a hard time finding a clean shooting lane right now. Right at the blue line, held in. Slapper by Feck. Didn't get through. Hops loose, chance, score! Duquesne makes it 6-4 on the rebound, score from Stephen D'Elia. D'Elia's got 2 in this game, matching Lloyd, and Pitt has a chance. 4:47 left in the third. Or pardon me, Duquesne has a chance.
See, I'm not the only one that can make that mistake.
I'll blame it on the time. Past 11 o'clock, all bets are off.
Yeah,
D'Elia
definitely.
pops it in. Feck shot it. Didn't get through, but again, just a partial block. And it found its way into a troublesome area. Goal at 15-13, so Duquesne winning the special teams battle tonight. Puck into the stands right in front of me. Duquesne has a shorthanded goal and a power play goal, both from Stephen D'Elia. Junior winger converting there. So D'Elia has 4 on the year, 2 in this game. Nice time for the outburst, but Duquesne needs 2 more. And, of course, they have to hold the fort. Virag with a headhunter from the right wing. Over the head of Nevervee. Bigley gave it up at center ice. Looking forward in his skates is Pitt's Crilly, and couldn't find it, offside against the Panthers. The 16th shot for Duquesne. Pretty good conversion rate, 25%.
Yeah.
The Panthers can't claim that, but I think if you had to pick, would you rather have 57 shots or 16? You'd take the 57.
Saving 51 of 57 or 4 of 16.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough stat line for Kanter. I'm not sure that's entirely fair in this one. Rebound chance in front for Pitt.
It goes back to not having as many shots on goal against you, so you know you're come in a little cold.
Leslie in front for Pitt. Cleared off the goal line, or near it. Mulholland jammed it down low. But here's Lloyd for Duquesne. Stripped from behind by Leslie. Stutt. Shot at short side. Save. Nevervee. Rebound. I thought I saw a hand go up in celebration. No, it was under Nevervee, who rises up and takes exception to being hacked at a couple of times with the puck under it. 3:41 left in the third. 6-4. Pitt's got 2 in this third period. Duquesne's got 1.
Going back to your point, I mean, whenever you get that many shots, 51, you get into a groove. And now you're 60 shots on goal for 54 of 60. But you look at that, when you're at 16 shots, you don't get to see them as often. You don't get into the groove that you normally would get into in a game. So whenever the shots come in, you're starting to second guess yourself. You're starting to get an opportunity. You're worried now. Hey, which way are they shooting? I don't know. I'm not sure what this player is capable of. So you get these shots. Now you get to see the groove of how these players are, they react to their shots and how they react to the play that they're coming in on and what they're capable of. So, yeah, maybe it's a little tougher whenever you see less shots.
Well, Duquesne scored 1 with its net empty. The extra attacker power play goal by D'Elia a couple of moments ago. Nevervee back in the net. I wonder how long it'll take for the Panthers to force him to come out. But now Pitt has the puck, and it's Teep shooting, and Nevervee makes another stop. His 55th of the night. Pitt would figure to just have to kill another half minute to a minute before getting another chance at the empty net. I'd have to imagine that the next time Duquesne has the puck cleanly in the offensive zone, in possession, solidly, that Nevervee will come off. Scramble draw. Virag reaches for Pitt, but P.J. Breslow will take for Duquesne. Breslow tries the aerial. That's not going to work out. Worth a shot, though, at this point of the game. Went past Evan Blum. Blum gets tripped up, trying to forecheck, ruled to be inadvertent. No penalty. Phillips tried to shoot it in wide of Nevervee, but Nevervee wouldn't let that happen. I don't know if that's going to be recorded as a shot. It shouldn't. It was well offline.
They counted it.
Okay. Some home cooking on the scoring. That helps the save percentage.
56-62.
Yeah, the numbers are mind-blowing at this point. Yeah. It's been a volume offense for Pitt. No doubt about it. Both these teams back in action tomorrow on the road. Pitt, short trip to the island to take on RMU, first place in the league. Stutt tried to make the pass across for Pitt. Leslie, this line's seen a lot of ice late in the third for Coach Stu Rolnick. Sinceri couldn't make it happen, but Lloyd following up. Lloyd shot it off the arm of Kanter. Rebound at the side of the net. Kanter trying to cover, and he does. Dominic Hasek style with the blocker hand grabbing it. Drop the stick. Sure, use that right hand to snatch it up. Nevervee off the ice onto the bench. 6 skaters on again for Duquesne. 2:11 showing on the clock.
So they make some magic happen here late in the game. Still plenty of time for 2 goals if you get 2 quick ones. So get one real fast here, then give yourself an opportunity.
Lloyd drew it back. Fanning on the shot was Bigley, though. Breslow jammed it down deep on one knee. Breslow goes cross-rink now. Bigley lines it up off the blocker of Kanter. Lloyd plucks it free. Bigley waiting, confronted there. Breslow near side, wanted to set up the one-timer to Feck, but it wasn't in his wheelhouse. Now Teep for Pitt. Escapes and flicks out to center. 1:39 remaining in the third. Duquesne down by 2. Trying to make it a big comeback, and that's offside, says linesman Cullen. Inches away from a promising zone entry for the Dukes. The faceoff will be just outside the Pitt blue line, and no going back now. Nevervee will stay on the bench. It's a 6-on-5 situation. Tristan Kanter hands off to his D-man Vieira. Pitt tries to systematically get it out, and Lloyd stumbles down. That gets the clear, and now a takeaway by Crilly. Crilly hits the open net from just inside the blue line, and he pantomimes going to sleep. That has put this game to bed. The Panthers lead it 7-4 with 1:17 to go in the third. Alex Crilly's 16th of the year, an even strength empty netter. And that'll clinch the season series. Pitt's going to win both of the city games on ice. This will be Pitt's 19th win of the season, their 7th in league play against just the one loss against CHMA rivals. Here's a chance, though, and nearly shooting it through. Kanter was Kaprivnikar. That went off Kaprivnikar's body, or went off Kaprivnikar's stick, rather, and then off of Kanter's body, and then the whistle sounded. Referee Roberts thought that it was hung on to.
Yeah, he just thought he lost it in the body. It ended up rolling into the corner.
Kanter even shook his head there. Well, that one nearly sneaked past him. Nevervee back in the net. Will Stutt for Pitt. Overtaken from behind by Blum. It's Stutt again. Will Stutt, the former Pine Richland and Esmark player. Esmark Stars, a local amateur team. Stutt in front. Leslie scores and makes it 8 for the Panthers. Ben Leslie, a 2-spot for the former Penn Trafford Warrior. He has 11 on the year, 2 in this third period. And Will Stutt put it on a tee for him, right between the hash marks. So in the end, it's going to look like a runaway, Mitch, but it was 4-3 for, well, the first half of this third period.
Duquesne led this game twice. I mean,
That's right.
If you look at it that way, and I mean, this third period, yeah, towards the end, got away from them after they, the empty netters. So, you want to look at it that way. I mean, 4 goals on 18 shots for the Dukes. So they took care of what opportunities they could take care of. Unfortunately, Pitt just puts up that high volume offense and ends up with the 8th spot on the clock. It just doesn't seem like it should, the game didn't seem as lopsided as it ended up looking.
Time ticking down. Sean Phillips will run out the clock. And the Pitt Panthers pick up the victory by the final score of 8-4 here on Berg Hockey Live, our college debut. The city game sees 12 goals on the board, 8 of them by the boys in blue and gold. The Panthers are now 7-1 in CHMA action, trying to overtake that top spot from Robert Morris. Well, Pitt will have a chance tomorrow on the island to personally do some damage and perhaps take care of business themselves and try to jump into that top spot. The number 14 ranked Panthers defeat the Dukes of Duquesne. Duquesne officially the home team in this one, but both teams enjoying the comforts of a familiar environment tonight. For Duquesne, a couple of goals each for Sean Lloyd, the co-captain, and Stephen D'Elia. 56 saves. 55 saves. One of those was into an empty net for Pitt. 55 saves for Alex Nevervee. What an effort from him. despite seeing 8 goals on the board. Not often you can say that about a goaltender, but when you have that many shots you're facing, yes.
57 saves, sir.
Got
57.
to tap the stick.
57 to 64 on the night.
Oh, okay. There you go.
College, we're back in college. You got to pass that math class.
Well, no, I was saying one of them was into an empty net, so
Right.
he didn't make the save on it.
Right.
But it still counts as a shot.
Yeah.
I think I'm right.
57 to 64.
Anyway,
Yeah.
on the other side of it, Tristan Kanter gets the win. He is now 8-1 on the season, and that save percentage of .922 probably stay around the same, but all he cares about is getting the result. For Pitt, a couple of goals for Ben Leslie late. Aldrich Virag had 2. Tonkovic with a goal and an assist. Virag also added an assist as well. Other goal scorers, Jake Teep and Alex Crilly into the empty net, plus Mark Loria. Don't forget about his goal, making it 5-3 midway through the third. That bought the Panthers some breathing room. So thank you for watching tonight. Alongside Brian Mitchell, I've been Matt Gajtka. Keep it here on the Pittsburgh Hockey Digest YouTube page, and just go to berghockey.com for our various broadcasts. We're going to hope to do some more college pucks the rest of the way. We'll figure that out. As for now, back to our high school offerings this upcoming week. Again, berghockey.com is where you want to go for all your coverage of local amateur hockey. Good night from Harborville and the Alpha Ice Complex.